Namaste and a very warm evening to our esteemed leaders, fellow JCs, and friends joining us from every corner of our beautiful nation. It brings us immense joy to welcome you to another captivating episode of India Incredible, the story of real India. India transcends geographical boundaries and political maps. It is a tapestry woven with threads of diversity, a symphony composed by countless voices, a celebration of unity in magnificent variety. Each corner of our nation contributes its unique melody to this grand orchestra. Some bring ancient wisdom and philosophical depth, others offer technological brilliance and entrepreneurial vision, and then there are those that paint our nation with colors of joy, music, and boundless warmth. This evening, we embark on a voyage to discover a coastal gem where the Arabian Sea whispers tales of bygone eras, where church bells and temple chimes create a harmonious duet, and where every sunset seems painted by an artist's loving hand. This evening, through our India Incredible series, we shine the spotlight on the Pearl of the Orient, Goa, a territory where Portuguese legacy dances with Indian traditions, where Sousgard is not just a word, but a philosophy, and where every meal becomes a feast, every gathering is a celebration. Goa has blessed our nation with more than beaches and beauty. It has gifted us a vision of how different worlds can merge, how diverse faiths can flourish side by side, and how life can be lived with equal measures of passion and peace. Goa emerges as India's most enchanting paradox, simultaneously tranquil and vibrant, deeply rooted yet wonderfully cosmopolitan. This is sacred ground where contradictions dissolve into perfect harmony, where centuries of Portuguese influence blend seamlessly with millennia of Indian heritage, creating something entirely unique, entirely magical. Goa has enriched India's soul with architectural wonders that tell stories in stone, culinary masterpieces that dance on every palate, and a cultural fusion that serves a living testament to harmony. From the majestic Basilica of Bom Jesus standing in serene splendor to the ancient Mangeshi temple radiating timeless devotion, Goa's landscape speaks of mutual respect and coexistence. Here, devotion wears many faces but shares one heart. Culture is not preserved in museums, it lives, breathes, and evolves in daily life. Happiness is not pursued, it is simply the air people breathe. Beyond its natural splendor, Goa exemplifies India's capacity for cultural synthesis, its gift for welcoming the world while remaining authentically itself, and its genius for finding joy in simplicity. Goans carry our nation's legacy across oceans with authenticity, warmth, and an infectious zest for life. From Goa, we learn profound truths about leadership and life. Greatness lies not in erasing differences, but in celebrating them. Progress means honoring our past while embracing your future. To comprehend India's beautiful complexity, look to Goa. For Goa demonstrates that true leadership emerges from openness, authenticity, and the courage to remain joyful even in challenging times. Tonight, we shall explore this magnificent state through someone who carries its essence in every word, every action, every dream. To navigate this magnificent journey through Goa, we are privileged to host JCI Senator Advocate Eeshan Usapkar. Ishan sir embodies a rare combination, the precision of law, the passion of service, and the power of transformational training, all wrapped in over 10 years of extraordinary professional excellence. As a distinguished legal practitioner, he represents clients before the Honorable High Court as well as civil and criminal courts spanning Goa, Mumbai, Pune, Vishakhapatnam, and Assam. Leading an independent practice with 6 junior advocates under his mentorship, his legal acumen has been acknowledged through prestigious recognitions from Sena. The Honorable High Court recently appointed him as amicus curiae for a significant case, and he contributed his expertise as a member of the High Court's drafting committees for both the Living Will and the Child Victim Compensation Scheme. His journey began with serving our motherland in the Indian Army, instilling in him the discipline and dedication that defines every endeavor he undertakes. As a master trainer, his credentials speaks volume. Holds certification from 12 distinguished international training programs, proud alumnus of JCI's elite NTTTS and Nalanda programs, honored as one of the top three speakers at the Asia Pacific Conference in Japan, representing India with distinction, has impacted the lives of over 35,000 individuals, professionals, students, and educators alike. Trusted by premier institutions, including the Indian Navy, Goa Police, Glenmark Pharmaceuticals, Syntagon, and numerous other organizations. Achieved a world record in training during 2021, cementing his status as a transformational force. His unwavering commitment to social transformation earned him the coveted Best Social Worker of Goa award, conferred personally by the Honorable Chief Minister, a testament to his impact beyond professional spheres. His JCI Odyssey commenced in 2004 as an 8th grade student, igniting a passion that would span 2 decades. His leadership trajectory includes Director of Social Media at the 2018 JCI World Congress, Local President of JCI Mapusa during 2020, Zone Vice President throughout 2021, Zone President of JCI India Zone 11 during 2022, steering Goa and portions of Maharashtra, National Coordinator for JCI India during both 2024 and 2025. His guiding principle resonates with profound simplicity. Training isn't merely about transferring knowledge, it is about igniting transformation. He personifies the Goan ethos, welcoming yet purposeful, joyful yet determined, rooted yet progressive. I now have the distinct privilege of inviting JCI Senator Advocate Eeshan Usapkar to guide us through this evening exploration, helping us discover Goa not merely as a destination on a map, but as living philosophy through the lens of JCI values. Distinguished JCs, please join me in extending a rousing welcome to an advocate by vocation and an explorer by nature, JCI Senator Advocate Eeshan Usapkar. Sir, the platform is yours.
Thank you so much, Sitesh, for such a wonderful opportunity and for such a beautiful introduction. It's indeed a pleasure to be back in Kerala with my friends from JCI Triprayar. This time, of course, online, but I must say I have a lot of fond memories of this beautiful chapter because I know some of the members over here, as of they are my own family members. Nirmala ma'am, Shine sir, even Anjali is around over here. Nice to see all of you guys. I think Manoj sir also would have joined some time back. But wonderful to be over here. It's always a pleasure. In fact, way back when I was just becoming a trainer and a zone trainer at that time, I must say thank you to JCI Triprayar for giving me the opportunity at that point in time to conduct a physical training out there with your members. And the moment I was invited to do a session like this, and that too on such an innovative topic, where I'm not speaking of some life skill, where I'm not speaking about some legal skills, but rather I'm speaking very proudly about my home state. I said yes with a lot of gratitude in my heart because, yes, I am a Goinkar by heart, I am a Goinkar by passion, and I was born here, brought up here, traveled across the country and the world. But Goa is not just a place, it is a feeling. And this feeling is what I'm here to express and share with each and everyone present over here. So, before I get started with my session or before I get started with talking about Goa, I have a request. Everybody present over here, you have to type in the chat box either GO or A. G if you've been to Goa, O, if you visited online Goa, and A, if you are having that aspiration that you will physically land up coming to Goa sometime soon. So, G, if you've been to Goa, O, if you've seen Goa only online, and A, if you at least have the aspiration of being here with us in Goa. Okay, wonderful. I'm just checking up on the chat boxes. Oh, there is quite a big number of participants who have not yet been to Goa. Okay, great, great, great. And for those of you who've been to Goa, well, let me take the opportunity today of showing you Goa beyond the Kalangut and beyond the Baga and beyond the beaches that you've always otherwise heard, beyond the casinos and beyond the airports and beyond all the infrastructure that all the advertisements or all the touristy places which otherwise keep humming here and there, and especially in all the movies that you may have seen the Goa out there. So today, let me take the privilege of introducing you to a Goa which is very near and dear to me. A proud Goikar, as I mentioned earlier, So without any further ado, let me start sharing my screen and then let's take it ahead from there. You all have seen Goa at least in pictures. But what exactly is Goa? Well, Goa, in fact, is the smallest state in the whole of our country. If you go by the size, it is just 3,702 square kilometers. In fact, if you start on a bike, within a single day, you can reach from the uppermost part that we call as the North Goa to the lowermost part, which at one point in time we used to call South Goa until very recently, which we now call Kushavati, because Goa earlier had two districts, whereas Goa now has three districts. Earlier we had only North Goa and South Goa. Now we have North Goa, we have South Goa, and we have a recently introduced third district, which is called as the Kushavati district. So if you want to travel all the way across the length of Goa, as I said earlier, you start with a bike. Within a single day, you will be done. We are that small. Well, area-wise, we are small, but everything else, we are quite big. If you look at the quality of life analysis that was conducted, in that, Goa ranked number one in India for per capita income as well as for human development. Literacy rates out here, at least according to the last noted census, 89%, one of the highest out there. And economic growth wise, we are growing at 14.4 gross state domestic product. So that's quite a remarkable achievement, in fact. And for this, Goa is just the beginning, or Goa is just at the starting point. We are just getting started because there are a lot of key things, key changes which are taking place in Goa. In fact, some of you who've been in Goa 15 years back and you come to Goa now today, you will be able to see the drastic change that we have. But before we understand what Goa is today, I think we should know what Goa was in the past. Well, you all know that the whole of our country was, in general terms, governed by the British, or was rather under the British Raj. Whereas we in Goa, we were not under the British Raj. We had something slightly different. But even before the Portuguese landed up coming over here, Goa had a root of origin. There happens to be something called as Usgalimal rocks. And these rock arts, they predict that these are more than 10,000 years old. You can even Google up this Usmaligal rock and you'll find the beautiful structuring that has been done, the beautiful drawings that have been done during the Stone Age era. So, was there a civilization out here in Goa at that time? Definitely yes. And that's the reason why we have some artwork of 10,000 years back. Then we had the Portuguese here. The Portuguese stayed from around 1510 till about 1961. That's approximately 450 years, quite huge. In fact, it is twice as long as the amount of time the British ruled over our country, India. And thereafter, on the 19th of December 1961, we got our liberation. The Indian army marched into Goa, and the Salazar of the Portuguese Empire, who was here at that point in time, or his representative over here at that point in time, he surrenders at the end of Operation Vijay. In fact, that's a very interesting story out there. It is said that when the Indian army started marching into Goa, the Portuguese forces, which comprised majorly of local Goans and a very small minority of the Portuguese, well, the locals were already on board. They already wanted the independence or they wanted to be liberated. And that is the reason why they did not really put up a tough resistance. And the signatures of surrender were actually done on the bonnet of an ambassador car. I mean, these are all folklore. I was not there that time, but these are all things that we hear from the people who have narrations and things to share of that point in time. So, quite some interesting trivia. Now, after we were liberated in 1961, we became a union territory. In fact, we were called the Goa, Daman, and Diu union territories together. I'm sure some of you may have seen where Daman and Diu exists. It's quite distant away from Goa, but these three Portuguese ruled areas, some of them also had some French influence on them at one point in time. All of these became union territories and thereafter started a massive exercise because some people in Goa wanted Goa to be a part of Maharashtra, whereas some people in Goa wanted Goa to be an independent state. And that is the reason why a referendum was held, an election of sorts. And in that election, the people of Goa chose to remain a separate state. And that is how, on the 25th of May 30th, that is when in 1987, we became the 25th state of the country, India. So, this is a brief history of how Goa came into existence. And now, coming to something which Sitesh otherwise mentioned when he was speaking in his welcome address about Goa. He used the word, of course, with a little bit of different pronunciation. So, let me give you the right way of doing it now. So, it's called Susegad. Okay. Can I have everybody type the word Susegad in the chat box? Come on. Let me hear that word Susegad. I would love to hear, but then since we are online, I'd rather make you type. Okay, great. Now, for a lot of people, the word Susegad is correlated with the word laziness. But that's wrong. The correct way of interpreting Susegad is basically being relaxed, being content, and living in a mindful manner. It is do your work, but do it at such a pace that you are also equally happy doing it. Don't be in a rat race. Don't just run, run, run. Do something for yourself too at the end of it all. Because at the end of it all, what really matters is being content, being relaxed. And that's what Susegad is all about, being relaxed, being content. And in Goa, we have a large majority of the Hindu population along with the Christian community, and we have all other religions also living very peacefully here in Goa. Touchwood, I'm very proud that Goa has a very good, peaceful mix of all religions and all traditions. And I'm definitely hopeful, and at least we are all definitely working towards a long term, sustainable, and peaceful environment for Goa at all points in time in the future. In fact, the social fabric that we have here in Goa is with so much of communal harmony, which is so beautiful to watch because there are a few ceremonies that we have over here, a few religious functions that we have over here, where two religions, in fact, are working together for that same function. I'll just give you one of the examples. Well, we have a Lairai temple, Devi Lairai temple over here, which is a Hindu deity. And then we have Milagris Church, which is a Christian church, of course. But in our Goan traditions, we consider these two deities, although of two different religions, to be sisters. Until today, when the feast in the church takes place, or when the religious function in the Hindu temple takes place, you will find a gift being sent from the temple to the church and from the church to the temple. This is going on till today. So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I still remember my childhood days. I was so excited for Ganesh Chaturthi, and during the decorations of Ganesh Chaturthi, even including now, even including last year's Ganesh Chaturthi, I had my friends come over the night before to help me with the decorations. And majority of them were Hindus, majority of them were also Christians. I would say 50-50 in fact. But during that point in time, we are all Goans. We are all brothers by heart and by faith, irrespective of which religion you believe in. Similarly, I still look forward to Christmas. That's a beautiful time to be here in Goa. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be out there at my neighbor's place making and helping them make the crib. Looking forward to when I could eat the dodol, the nyoris, and everything else that would be made during the Christmas time. Even up to the last year for Christmas, I was dressed up as the Santa Claus. I now have my own tummy to show off to. So yes, we've been celebrating together with a lot of Susegad spirit, with a lot of love and affection, irrespective of which caste, creed, or religion you otherwise belong to. So that's the wonderful spirit that we work on. Now, if you have to ask, what is the language of Goa? Now, somewhere, some tourists very unfortunately say, Goans speak Goanese. Well, there is no such language called Goanese. I was, in fact, when I was a zone president and I went to other zones, I was often greeted by asking, Sir, thoda Goanese mein bol ke dikhaiye na. I used to always correct them. There exists absolutely no language called Goanese. In Goa, our primary language or our official language is Konkani. All right, it is called Konkani. And the script in which it is originally written is the Devanagari script, the same script with which you would write a Hindi or a Marathi, right? So that's the reason why you will see the word Konkani also written out there in the Devanagari script in between. But if you come around in Goa, you will find that majority of Goans are fluent in Konkani, English, Marathi, Hindi. And the older generation, older in the sense my grandfather kind of a generation, they were very fluent in Portuguese too, because their initial years of study were in Portuguese. And I still know a lot of seniors who speak so fluent Portuguese that sometimes you have to open up your phone and be on Google Translate. Kya bol raha hai bhai? But yes, these are otherwise the languages we have out here in Goa. So Konkani, number one. And after that, we have every other language that we have embraced and we've made it a part. In fact, Konkani is now also written. I mean, in fact, even in the past it used to be written because of the Portuguese influence, written in the same script as English. So basically, you'd have Konkani words written in the English script. And in fact, even sometimes when I have to refer to something pretty long in my speech, it's very difficult to type something in Konkani, right? So instead, I would just type it out in English with the Konkani dialect as a part of it. Now, when we speak of Konkani and when all our guests, especially all of you who have attended this session today, you come to Goa, you may say, Are, in Goa, I visited North Goa. I found the Konkani different there. I visited South Goa. I found the Konkani different there. Is there something wrong? Is it different? Well, friends, the Konkani is the same. The way in which it is spoken, the pronunciation, a couple of words here and there, these all have differences. Because if you come towards the north, it has a more of a Marathi influence on it. If you go towards the south, we typically call it a Sashti Kokani. Okay, so it's Konkani in itself, but just a different dialect or rather a different pronunciation or a way of putting across your thoughts in that respective area of the state. Fine. Now, Goa happens to have some beautiful, beautiful architecture, and this architecture is influenced by the Portuguese because for a very, very long period of time, as I mentioned earlier, 450 plus years, they've been around over here. So definitely there is a lot of influence on our architecture. Now, some of the most commonly known artifacts or places or heritage sites you would have definitely come across the Basilica of Bom Jesus, which we have here in Old Goa. You have the temples, the beautiful Mangeshi temple, where at outside every temple you have some lamp towers, which are called as deep sthambs. If you look at the way the deep stumps in our old temples here in Goa are, and you compare it with the way the things are in the rest of the country, you'll find it to be quite different. And that is entirely because of the kind of European style architecture that has been introduced or was introduced in Goa at one point in time. If you come to this beautiful area called Fontaines in Panjim, then the Fontenay area has some Latin quarters. In fact, it is called as Asia's only Latin quarters, where you have colonial era homes. Till today, they are out there. Okay, just a request to all our tourist friends, if you at all visit this Fontenay area, the locals out there do not really prefer being disturbed with all the loud noises and all. So go, as I said earlier, Susegad, be around, click some nice photographs wherever it is permitted, and take back the wonderful memories. Okay. And then lastly, a beautiful concept that we have here in Goa that is called the balcão. Now, what is the balcão? The balcão is basically a open porch or a sitting area which is just outside the house. And all our old houses definitely had balconies. Now, in today's world, hardly anyone will keep one. What is a balcony? It's basically like a few sofas or a few chairs. Rather than using real sofas and chairs, they were made of brick itself. Very beautifully made, permanent structures outside my compound wall. So that any stranger could come there, sit there, relax, chill, and probably have a cup of tea with me and discuss something nice with me. That was the Balkav culture. Basically, bonding for the community, being together in a Susegad life. So that was the architecture. Now, for those of you who are vegetarian, well, let Goa disappoint you. If you're a non-vegetarian, welcome to Goa. This is your heaven. Okay. Now, why do I say that? Because I still remember around 15 years back when you went around Goa, it would be so difficult to find a pure vegetarian restaurant. I'm talking 15 years back. Whereas today, if you come to Goa, all tourist places and well-known popular spots of Goa definitely have a pure vegetarian restaurant, because now you have a crowd which is coming, which is asking for it, right? But otherwise, typically we as Goans, our staple food is fish curry rice, shitkori as we call it, right? Now a lot of similarities there between what we do here in Goa and the way you do it out there in Kerala, especially the way our rice culture is, or our fish culture, or even our curry culture is. But within the kind of curry that we have, absolutely different, because I've tasted the way it is out in South India and the way it is here in Goa. Right? It is ultimately all about the uses of spices, the way in which the coconut is used or not used. So all of these kind of things. In fact, in Goa, you'll also have some fusion flavors. You'll have some famous dishes like the Vindalu, the Shaguti, and the Sorpotel. Now, these three, I know, may sound like some complicated big words, but the foods are delicious, and that's all we should care about, right? Now, where did these come from? Well, these came from the Portuguese lands, from the European cultures, and then Goa made its own and made all kind of changes to it. Now, for those of you who like to be in high spirits, well, Goa is a place. Although what spirits we are talking of depends on person to person. But we have something called as the cashew spirit over here, which is called the Feni, which is in fact India's first beverage to get the GI mark, the global indication, that kind of a mark, or the geo indication mark, right? So that is what we have here, the cashew spirit. We have some heritage sweets. You must have heard of these words like bibinka, dodol, right? So these are all here in Goa. And if you come to Goa, you must try these. Because Goa आए और ये सब try नहीं किया तो क्यों ही आए, right? So these are vegetarian, the sweets. So feel free if you're a vegetarian, if you're non-vegetarian. Anyways, you should not care, right? Chalo, let's move to the next one, the festivals and the forecasts. Well, friends, as I mentioned earlier, Goa has a great mix of religious harmony. You would have the Christian functions, you'd have the Hindu functions done in the best possible manner together, with both communities working together as one. And here you have two things which I have put out there on the screen for you. Number one, Carnival. Number two, Shigmo. In fact, in Goa, Carnival was going on just last week. We just concluded the last set of carnivals a couple of days back. Carnival is what? Well, you may have heard of the famous Rio Carnival, which takes place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Well, we have our own carnival here in Goa. In fact, one of the only places in India where a carnival per se, the way it should be, is celebrated in general terms. Although now, because of various influences coming through and various people going places around the world, maybe people have started it elsewhere, but originally it started out here in Goa, in this country of India at least, right? So over here, it's a street parade. People will be dressed up in all kinds of weird costumes, nice costumes, funny costumes, beautiful costumes. But yes, they'll make sure that there is a lot of vibrancy out there on the streets. And this is usually held just before the Lent. Okay, just before the Lent season would arrive, you would have the carnival functions. And then, just in the next month, in fact, here in Goa, I'm welcoming all of you for our Shigmo. Now, what exactly is a Shigmo or Shigmotsav as we call it? Well, it's a celebration in itself where we are celebrating the Hindu festivities and we are showcasing floats. What floats? These are typically floats which are showing lot of historical, or sometimes some people may otherwise call it as legendary scenes, or some may just call them as mythological scenes, okay, depending on how you look at the whole thing, because mythology for one is history for another. So we have these kind of scenes, right from the Ramayana scenes to the Mahabharata scenes to everything that happened during the Kali Yuga, the Treta Yuga, the divine times that we had in the past, according to all the books that we've otherwise read, the Vedas. These all kind of things are showcased during the Shigmotsav, right? And then at the end, traditional dances. Well, two common dance forms. We have the Fugdi and we have the Mando. Well, Fugdi is for the women's folk dance, and Mando, these are some nice, beautiful, rhythmic love songs. In fact, friends, I must say this. Our Goan songs are much like a story in itself. Our Goan songs are much like a story in itself, where through the song itself, an entire story is being narrated. In fact, after the session, if it interests you, you can just go to YouTube and you can see a couple of new Goan songs that have come around just in the last few months or years, which are right now trending. I'll give you a couple of them. Number one, Rosalina, and number two, Dukhota Dukhota. Okay, Rosalina is a very, very beautiful and a catchy song, and Dukhota is much like the pains expressed by the singer out there of love and everything else in between. So, yes, you can definitely check those out and hear those out. One more song I'm sure you must have heard of by a very wonderful singer. Her name is Lorna. I had the privilege of meeting her, wonderful personality, in fact. And you also have Remo Fernandez, who is from Goa. You must have definitely heard a lot of his songs in Bollywood, where he has made sure that the Goan influence is also out there and made the Goa make it more Bollywoody or make it more known to the rest of the world. So that's something that you should also experience. I wish I could sing it for you, but then if I start singing, probably Zoom will go into a coma mode. So I don't want to do that. We'll continue with the session instead. Sure. So festival and folk arts done. Let me now take you beyond the beaches, because usually when people think Goa, when people say Goa, they will only think beaches. So today, let me not talk about the beaches. You already know about it. The whole world knows about it. And if at all there exist aliens somewhere in the universe, I'm sure even they know Goa ke beaches. Also, although I hope they will not say Kalanguti and Baga for these beaches. Fine. Biodiversity hub, that is what we are in Goa, because 20% of the state lies within the Western Ghats. You have some very beautiful waterfalls out here. One of them, my favorite, is the Dudh Sagar waterfall. In fact, the name itself translates into sea of milk, Dudh Sagar. And especially if you're coming by train, then there is one point where that entire Dudh Sagar waterfall is literally touchable from outside your window. I have in fact put that image out here from where you can see that entire waterfall. A beautiful stretch, beautiful stretch. Of course, you can also go there by jeep, you can go there by trekking. There are multiple routes to reach that particular waterfall. Beautiful. I must recommend each and every one of you. Next time you come to Goa, beaches, yes, definitely visit, but definitely come to Dudhsagar. You'll enjoy it. You'll wonderfully enjoy it. Let me say that. For those of you who love birds, we have Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary. You'll see birds which you have only probably seen online, which you've only probably seen in photographs. You'll get to be face to face with them. So that's a beautiful spot. And of late, a lot of people have popularized spice plantations. We have a lot of them here in Goa, and also a lot of kayaking. So that's something that you can definitely try the next time around here you are in Goa. Now, a lot of people ask me this question, and I'm sure today also some of you may have this question. So, if I have to come to Goa to the beach, should I go to the north side or should I go to the south side? A lot of people still ask this. Well, let me tell you this. If you want a happening place, you want party places, you want clubbing, you want late night scenes, then in that case, come to North Goa. If you want to have a relaxed with no crowd of sorts, and you want to spend some family time, some quality time without much of shore sharaba, then come to South Goa. Okay, or at least the beaches out there. Those are comparatively on a quieter side. And I hope and pray they remain that way because otherwise there'll be no distinction between the north and south if everywhere we have the same kind of a crowd. Well, friends, if you plan coming to Goa, I have seen a lot of my friends making their plans to come to Goa and making one mistake. And I will help you in avoiding that mistake. If you want to come to South Goa, or now South Goa and Kushavati, if you want to come to these two places, then in that case, please choose the Goa International Airport at Dabolim. And if you want to come to North Goa, then please choose the Manohar International Airport, which is Mopa. So basically, in Goa, we have now two airports, one in North, one in South. So depending on where you want to go, make sure you choose the right airport. I had this one friend of mine who, in fact, came from Delhi, and he told me that he wants to come to Goa and he has already booked the flight tickets and he's already booked his hotel. The hotel that he had booked was in South Goa, but he did not know there existed an airport on that side. He just Googled for Goa airports and he went ahead and he booked for Mopa airport. So from the Mopa airport to the hotel, it took him roughly around 3.5 to 4 hours. Whereas had he taken the other airport, it would have hardly taken just maybe half an hour or not more than that. Okay, so please remember Goa has two different airports. The one in Mopa, it's a recent one, it's a new one. You have world-class sustainable aviation hub kind of facilities over there. And the Dabolim airport, the one in south that we have, that's actually a defense airport, which is also used for civil aviation, but it's a pretty good airport too, right? And then in Goa, we have a lot of beautiful infrastructure and artifacts. One of them is the Zuari Bridge. In fact, right now, it happens to be India's second longest cable stayed bridge with observatory towers on top of it. The observatory towers, as of now, have not yet been built, but those are slated to be built over the next few years. It's already part of the plan, and that plan already stands approved. And sometime soon, we will have those observatories up on the bridge itself, right? And in fact, Goa, because of the kind of connectivity and the infrastructure that we have over here, we've of late become a house of digital nomads because that community is quite increasing of late. Where if you are in the IT field and you have a permanent work from home culture that permits you to be anywhere around the world, then people choose Goa because our internet connectivity is pretty good. The standards of living are pretty good. The air is really clean and nice, and we should all work to keep it that way. So that is why digital reach wise, India is definitely doing well, and Goa is also doing extremely well. And in Goa, digital nomads are finding their permanent houses, and that's something that has been happening of late. Well, friends, moving ahead to economy and opportunities. Well, in Goa, you may have heard that our primary source of income is tourism. Well, not exactly. Tourism is a good source of income, yes, but apart from that, our industrial strength exists because we are also called the pharma capital. You have major pharma companies like Glenmark, Cipla, which are working actively from here in Goa. In fact, they have some of the biggest hubs here in Goa, and in fact, Glenmark is something that is a big offspring of Goa, and we have the Goan owner also forming a part of it, right? And in fact, 10% of India's total pharma output is going out here from Goa. Sometime back, we also had the mining industry, which was booming in Goa. Thereafter, we had certain judicial decisions, and there were certain things that were not going right, and that's the reason why mining sector came under quite a hammer. But now it is slowly picking up. But yes, we have the industrial strength, we have tourism, because annually we have around 10 million plus annual visitors. At one point in time, you had a huge crowd in Goa, mass tourism. But now, slowly and steadily, Goa is moving towards quality tourism. Not just everyone coming here, but rather the right set of people coming here. And Under the leadership of our government and our respected chief minister, we have this Swayampurna Goa, that mission going on at village level for economic strengthening. Swayampurna is basically self empowered. We are empowering our rural workplaces, our rural workforces, our people out there so that they can make themselves more practically economically viable, as well as by making themselves more economically stronger, obviously making the state much more economically stronger. So yes, Goa is emerging as a beautiful hub of economy and opportunities. And on this, subsequently, if you also have certain questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. But before that, let me speak about what, according to us, is the future of Goa. Well, number one, Goa model state. That's at least what I call it. A reason, because we have a great historical root, we have a great socio-economical bond, we have a wonderful social harmony and a great fabric in that part of it, and high-tech growth, which is coexisting along with all the things of the past. There is inclusive growth because we are maintaining the highest per capita income while also preserving local ecology. And Goa is not just a destination, it's an experience, a culture, peace, and progress. I kept saying this word before me, Sitesh kept saying this word, Susegad. That's what we are. And towards the end, before I go to my last line, there's one word you will keep hearing over and over and over again, Deobarekuru. In fact, I will make you all say it at the end. What is Deobarekuru? In general terms, it is may God do good to you. But we use it also as just thank you. Rather than saying thank you, we say Deobarekuru. May God bless you too, or may God be good to you too. Right? So this is the future of Goa. And lastly, speaking about our organization, the Junior Chamber International and our Connect in Goa. Well, as Sitesh rightly said, I've been a part of JCI since the year 2004 when I joined as a junior JC. You can calculate the number of years. I'm bad at math. If you want, you can do the calculation. But 2004, when I joined, I was in 8th standard. I joined this beautiful organization. And I've been a part of JCI India's Zone 11 ever since then. Now, Zone 11 comprises of the whole of Goa and a little part of the coastal area of Maharashtra. So that's the whole of Zone 11. So Zone 11 consists of the whole of Goa and a part of Maharashtra. I said at the very first slide, Goa is the smallest state in the country. We are small by size, but we are big by impact. JCI India Zone 11, one of the smallest zones, but in spite of being one of the smallest zones, we have given JCI India three past national presidents. Okay, just to introduce their names, we have Ashok Desh Prabhu sir, we have Ashraf Ali Nizari sir, and we have Anthony Narona sir. So three of them, wonderful gentlemen, all three of them, three PNPs who have gone from Goa, and they are very big support to our JCI culture here in Goa till today. They all are actively involved and they're always there to help us and guide us. JCI hosted its World Congress in the year 2018. In which place? In which place? In which place? No prizes for guessing because I put the logo out there on the screen for you. It was here in Goa, right? And that was the time I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting a lot of you in person, including somebody I consider as my role model, that is Shine Sir from your chapter itself, right? Past world president of JCI, wonderful personality, but very down to earth, I must say, because when he was working with us for the World Congress time or when he was guiding us during World Congress time, it almost felt like we were speaking to a friend of our own, just a colleague of our own. It never felt that he is the past world president and we are just general members. It was so lovely and so nice, homely feeling for all of us working under him. So, yes, we've hosted the JCI World Congress 2018. Currently, we have around 40 active local organizations currently here in the JCI India Zone 11. And we look forward to increasing those numbers over a period of time. But yes, that is in brief what Goa is. But if you ask me, what is Goa? Then I will just say Goa is imagination. Goa is a dream. What you can imagine, what you can dream is totally up to you. If you want to dream relaxation, Goa will give you that. If you want to dream adventure, Goa will give you that. If you want to dream beaches, Goa will give you that. If you want to dream of waterfalls, Goa will give you that too. So, right from the mountains to the seas, right from the beaches to the bays, you'll find it all here in Goa. So, yes, friends, towards the end, instead of saying thank you, let me say Deo Bare Karu. And let me take this privilege of inviting each and every one of you to my state, my Goa. Anytime you're here in Goa, feel free to get connected to me. I'll be more than happy to take you around the place. If you're coming by train, because I know we have direct trains from Triprayar to Goa, almost that same route, because we always welcome them. One of the stations in Goa happens to be Thivim railway station. I am just walking distance away from that railway station. So if you are coming there, just let me know. I will make sure that I come there to visit you or to pick you up if at all you require any help or assistance. Done. So with that, परत एकदा सगळ्यांक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा आणि आयज तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी माझ्या मना काळजांतसून जे हांव गोंया बद्दल उलयतालो ते तुम्ही ऐकले म्हणून हांव परत एकदा तुमकां देव बरें करूं म्हणटा आणि हेच्या फुडें कितें आनीक आसचें जाल्यार म्हाका तुम्ही विचारपाक केन्नाच संकोच करचो न्हू अशें म्हणून हांव म्हजी 2 शब्द सोंपयता 20 शब्द सोंपयता जावं 1 वर्स हांव उलयलो ते सोंपयता लास्ट का जो भी बोला probably you did not understand but you would have definitely said जो भी था अच्छा था सुना ही अच्छा दिया समझ नहीं आया लेकिन अच्छा था वो चलेगा all I said is I'm welcoming you all to Goa and I'm very grateful for the opportunity so thank you once again to each and every one wonderful to see so many faces known faces I can see Mugil I can see Pooja ma'am I can see Alias wonderful great to be here and I still have exactly 2 minutes left of my allocated time because I'm supposed to conclude at 8:20. It is 8:18 right now. So the last 2 minutes that I have, let me ask you a very important question. Friends, do you have any question for me?
So, no questions, but feedback to you. The session has been amazing since I have not been to Goa, but I have learned a lot of things and I know what to do when I'll be in Goa. So, amazing session, sir. And it's always wonderful to hear
Wonderful.
you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Means a lot to me and definitely looking forward to welcoming you all in Goa. Please do come with the whole family.
Good evening, Eeshan. Lovely seeing you online after a long, long time. Yeah, it was a lovely evening. You made my day. Goa in Kerala.
Thank you so much, Nirmala ma'am. Always a pleasure meeting you, whether it's physically or online, and so much nice to see you. And the little one, hi to you too.
Granted.
Please do come to Goa sometime soon. Thank you so much, ma'am. Always a pleasure
Myself,
meeting
Good
you.
evening,
Elias.
sir. Good evening.
Oh,
Krishna this
good
side.
evening, Krishna ji. आप डायरेक्टली नॉर्थ ईस्ट से ज्वाइन हुए
बिल्कुल
हमें
बिल्कुल sir. Yeah, you reminded me everything about the PA, and it was so nice hearing you there in PA again, hearing you again. It is such a great pleasure. और पूरी पीए की मेमोरीज फ्रेश हो गई हैं सर वापस गोवा गोवा फील हो रहा है मेरे को गुवाहाटी में
Thank you so much, Krishna ji. In fact, just for
थैंक यू
everybody else, Krishna ji is from Guwahati, Assam, and we are very closely associated with each other because we hosted Presidential Academy, where we had friends from Northeast coming down to Goa, and from there we've all
यस
been
सर
connected. And in fact, when I went to Assam for one of my court cases, I was very happy to engage and meet with members from JCI Zone 25, Zone 11, Zone 25, and everybody out there. Krishna ji, give my love and regards to everybody. Always a pleasure.
श्योर सर थैंक यू सो मच सर थैंक यू
So, a lot of Assam
Myself,
people are here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So, me also from Guwahati, sir.
Oh, you are from Guwahati. Okay, okay, wonderful. Nice to know that.
So, we met in Entropidius, right, last year?
Correct, correct. But I didn't
South.
know you were from Zone 25.
No, so, I was the only one from Zone 25.
Okay, wonderful. Nice. So basically, we have the whole of India over here, north, south, east, west, सब लोग हैं यहाँ पे.
Ji, sir.
myself, Elias from Zone 20, Cochin.
Hi,
Coming to
Elias sir.
Goa
Hi.
next week. Coming next week.
Next week. Okay.
Our
Wonderful. Please
national convention.
take
JAC
Oh,
National
for
Convention
JSA National Convention. Yes,
coming
yes,
there.
yes. Then I will
I have,
definitely meet you there.
I
I'm also
have been
coming.
in Goa from 1990, first in NATCON,
Wonderful,
several
wonderful. So
times.
I'm sure you'll be the right person to tell everybody of how and what
Okay.
changes you've seen in Goa right from 1990 to now, and the way
I know
Goa
very
has
well.
changed the whole landscape, right?
I know it very well.
Hello,
Thank you
Ishan
so
sir.
much, sir. Thank you. ZP ma'am, okay, for everybody, this is our zone president of JCI India, Zone 11, Mamta ji. And Mamta has been very kind and gracious for giving my reference to Sitesh and getting me connected. ZP ma'am, thank you so much. And most importantly, thank you for joining in into the session. Always a pleasure.
Yes, Ishan, this session was wonderful. I was listening to it, and it was wonderful. Whatever insights you have given, it was worth listening to. And I'm sure other participants must have enjoyed it and must have gained a lot of knowledge to go beyond PKS. So congratulations, sir, and of course you are our pride. And I could not think of anyone else other than you for this session. So congratulations and thank you so much, Sitesh, JC Sitesh sir, for connecting with us.
Thank you so much. The session was supposed to open for feedbacks, but since everybody has spoken, I would still invite participants or people who have any feedback or questions here. It's wonderful to have you, Mamta ma'am, and thank you for the support from NatCon. The concept was discussed in NatCon, and she was happily ready to provide Ishan sir, and she wanted someone to change the face of Goa, the mindset that people have about Goa. So that was wonderful from Mamtaran's side, and it's also great to have lot of trainers from Northeast. I'm sure your upcoming sessions, I think a bar has been set which has to be met. So all the best for your sessions that are coming up. Yes, I see a hand raise from Mugil and Purvi. You can go in order. Mugil, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ishan sir. After a long time, I'm meeting you today. Happy to see you here. Today, I had a wonderful learning from your session. Such a nice presentation you have done today. We'll explore and learn so many things about Goa. Soon we can meet at Goa. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mugil.
Good evening, sir. It was really brilliant session because by your words only we have visited the whole Goa. The way you were presenting and the excitement of visiting certain places. So actually, my husband went last year to Goa. He had been there with his cousins. But when he came back, he was regretting for certain things that without detail, it is not good to visit. So when he came, I said that you already went there alone and you enjoyed or not enjoyed, I don't know, but at least you have visited. So this time I will go with my group because in JCs we were so many ladies here in Valsad. Actually, I'm from Zone 8. So I told them that as they went alone, this time we will go alone. And this is really super cool that you excited us that we must have to visit once at least. So really good session. Thank you so much, sir, for the session, and thank you so much, Sitesh, sir, because every time, like I had also been in the Punjab history when the sir was there. I couldn't remember the name, but it was really good. And as I'm also zone trainer and planning for national trainer, so also getting so many tips and tricks by visiting and by just being in this training. So thank you so much for providing this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The trainer's name is Inderpal Singh Talwar. And the YouTube recordings are also available for the session. I will be sharing the same. Thank you, Purvi, ma'am.
So thank you, Ishan sir. You are the best person. As in the coming time, even I have a session, and I got a perfect flow. I have to how I have to go, and I think this was the perfect time to join the session and learn how I have to go for the training, which I have to conduct for a place where I have not been to. So that is an amazing experience for me, sir. So the session was very nice, very clear, and I'm gonna take a lot of tip from here, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I think I'm fan of Anjali also because I've seen her growing from a small little kid because when I came there as a trainer, I still remember she was probably in school at that point in time, and now she's become such a wonderful personality. I can see her almost in every other flyer and program that is being hosted around. So I'm really happy and amazed, and also makes me feel very old.
Thank you all. Thank you all for your wonderful feedbacks and your wonderful words and support. It means a lot to us. As we close, I invite HGF Anjali Manoj to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chairman, JCCA Siddesh Shashidharan. India Incredible, the story of real India, is now becoming a celebrated national-wide initiative connecting regions, cultures, and leaders across the country. It is a matter of great pride for all of us to witness the impact of this initiative. As we conclude India Incredible Spotlight on Goa, I take this opportunity to express our gratitude on behalf of JCI Triprayar. Our heartfelt thanks to our speaker, JCI Senator Advocate Eeshan Usapkar. Thank you, sir, for take. Our heartfelt thanks to our speaker, JCI Senator Advocate Eeshan Usapkar. Thank you, sir, for taking us through Goa in such a beautiful, authentic, and inspiring way. The depth and passion with which you unfolded the story of real Goa truly made this session incredible. We are especially happy to have you once again with JCI Triprayar. Our Goa Kerala Cultural Exchange program during your presidency remains one of the most beautiful collaboration we cherish. That connection makes today's session even more special for us. We sincerely thank our own President, JC Senator Jason Arakel, for the constant support and vision that encourage impactful initiatives like Incredible India. We also extend our heartfelt appreciation to Zone 2, especially to the Zone President JFM Advocate Mamta Naik for the constant encouragement from your side. A special word of appreciation to the Zone 20 team, all the local organizations, and all the leaders for your wholehearted support, and a huge appreciation to Team 2026 of JCI Triprayar for the coordinated effort for the session. And finally, thank you to all the participants who joined us today. The India Incredible series is receiving overwhelming appreciation from all the corners and is connecting hearts across India. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this inspiring journey. Jai Hind, Jai JCI.
Thank you, JC Anjali. As we continue traversing this India Incredible journey, let us carry forward one fundamental truth. To lead India's tomorrow, we must first understand India today. Our gratitude for your participation in this enriching experience. India Incredible. Know India, feel India, lead India. Jai Hind. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Yes.